Af- Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Rachel Kelly here with the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. The one of the members of DS Domination, Unit of Prosperity, and I have with me some awesome entrepreneurs this morning. I have Diane Klein, Jody Maley. Did I get it right, Jody? Jody. Is your husband in the background? I want him to know I did get that right. And Scarlett Rogers. Today we are so excited about coming to you and inspiring you in your business and in your life. I'm just really excited because I found out some things over the weekend or this past week that I did not know. Ladies, I wanted to share this with you personally since we're all here together. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Rachel Kelly here with the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. I have that on our blog now. One of the members of the DS Domination, Unit of Prosperity. And I have... Okay, there we go. Okay, so over the past week, I had an opportunity to meet up with many of the members in the Michigan area that are in the Unit of Prosperity. And so I had a couple people tell me, you know, I come to your blog, your hangouts all the time. I get inspired. You know, they keep me wanting to go forth my business. I just really want to let you ladies know that what we're doing here is greater than we actually would, you know, we can't even imagine. We don't even know who comes here and listens, but just know that it's inspiring people to want to keep going. So thumbs up to you. Great job, ladies. Keep up the great work. And so without further ado, today we're going to be talking about the hidden secrets of money, money-making secrets revealed, and the secrets that are involved with it. Many people think that they have to have all this extra money, but they really don't know what to do with the money that they have. So today we're going to be reading from Jack Canfield's book, Success Principles. If you don't have that book, we highly encourage you to get that book. You can get back with the person who invited you and get their link to Amazon, or if you don't want to wait for that, then just go ahead and go over to Amazon and get it. But it's always nice when we help one another. Without anything else being said, I just want to go ahead and move forward into the reading so that we can really dig in and get all the information that Jack Canfield is providing for us today. Ladies, would one of you like to start out reading?
I can start, Rachel.
Thank you, Diane.
You're welcome. Principle 58. Pay yourself first. You have a divine right to abundance. And if you are anything less than a millionaire, you haven't had your fair share. Stuart Wilde, author of Tricks to Money, is having some. In 1926, George Clason wrote a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the great classics of all time. It's the fabled story of a man named Arcade, a simple scribe who convinces his client, a moneylender, to teach him the secrets of money. The first principle the money leader teaches Arcade is a part of all you earn must be yours to keep. He goes on to explain that by first putting aside at least 10% of his earnings and making that money inaccessible for expenses, Arcade would see this amount build over time and in turn start earning money on its own over an even longer time. It would grow into a lot because of the power of compound interest. Many people have built their fortunes by paying themselves first. It's as true and effective today as it was in 1926. A telling story. As easy as this 10% formula is, I'm always shocked at how unwilling people are to hear it. Just the other night, I was taking a limo from the airport back to my home in Santa Barbara. The 28-year-old limo driver, after realizing who I was, asked me to share with him some principles of success he could apply to his own life. When I told him he should invest 10% of every dollar he earned and then keep reinvesting the dividends, I could tell the information was falling on deaf ears. He was looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. But though opportunities that can earn you money faster are always something to watch for, I believe your future must initially be built on the solid bedrock of a long-term investment plan. The earlier you start, the more quickly you can build your safety net of $1 million. And there's a comic strip of investments. And the guy says, I retire on Friday and I haven't saved a dime. Here's your chance to become a legend. Sit down with a financial planner or go to one of the myriad sites on the internet. Am I getting echo or is it you guys? Sit down with a financial planner or go to one of the myriad sites on the internet where you can enter the amount of your current net worth and your financial goals for retirement. And then calculate how much you need to save and invest from this point forward to make your goal amount by the time you retire. The eighth wonder of the world. Compound interest is the eighth natural wonder of the world and the most powerful thing I have ever encountered. Albert Einstein. If you ever knew of the idea of compound interest, here's how it works. If you invest $1,000 at 10% rate of interest, you'll earn $100 in interest at the end of the first year. Have a total investment of $1,100. If you leave both your original investment and the earned interest in the account, the next year you'll earn 10% interest on $1,100, which is $110. The third year, you'll earn 10% of $1,210, and so on, for as long as you leave it there. At this rate, your money could actually double every 7 years. That's how it eventually turns into a huge amount over time. Of course, the best news is time is your friend when it comes to compound interest. The sooner you start, the greater the results. Consider the following example. Mary started investing at age 25 and stops when she reaches 35. Tom doesn't start investing until the age of 35, but keeps investing until he retires at 65. Both Mary and Tom invest $150 per month with a rate of return of 8% per year, compounding interest. But look at the surprising results when they both retire at age 65. Mary invested only $18,000 over 10 years and ended up with $283,385. Sorry, am I reading that number right? $283,385. Whereas Tom contributes $54,000 over 30 years and ends up with only $220,233. The person who contributed for only 10 years has more than the person who invested for 30 years, but started later. The sooner you start saving, the longer you have for compounding interest to work its powerful magic.
Thank you, Diane, very much. Appreciate that. Anyone else want to pick up in making savings and investing a priority? Okay.
Sure. Oh, I can. Sorry, I had to unmute.
Thank you, Jenny.
Make saving and investing a priority. The world's most aggressive savers make investing money as a central part of their money management as they do paying their mortgage. To get in the habit of saving some money every month, immediately take a predetermined percentage of your paycheck and put it into a savings account that you don't allow yourself to touch. Keep building that account until you've saved enough of it into a mutual fund or bond account, or to invest it in real estate, including the purchase of your own home. The amount of money that is wasted paying rent without building any equity in a home is a tragedy for many people. Investing that just 10% or 15% of your income will help you eventually amass a fortune. Pay yourself first, then live on what is left. This will do two things. One, it will force you to start building your fortune, and two, if you still want to buy more or do more, it will force you to find ways to earn more money to afford it. Never dip into your savings to fund your bigger lifestyle. You want your investments to grow to the point that you could live off the interest, if necessary. Only then will you be financially independent. He paid himself first. Dr. John Diamartini is a chiropractor who now conducts seminars for other chiropractors on how to grow themselves personally and their practices financially. He is one of the wealthiest and most abundant people I know, in spirit, friends, and adventure, as well as in money. John told me, when I first got into practice years ago, I paid everybody first and took whatever was left over. I didn't know any better. Then I noticed that people who had only been working for me less than 6 months were all getting paid on time. I realized that their pay was fixed and mine was variable. That was kind of crazy. The most important person, me, was the one under the stress, while the others had all the stability. I decided to turn that around and pay myself first. I paid my taxes second, my lifestyle budget third, and my bills fourth. I arranged for automatic withdrawals, and they've completely changed my financial situation. I don't waver. If bills pile up and the money doesn't come in, I don't stop the withdrawals. My staff is forced to find a way to book more seminars and collect more money. Under the old system, if they didn't book or collect, it was on my back. But now it's the other way around. If they want to get paid, they figure out ways to make more money. The 50-50 law. Another rule John suggests is that you never spend more than you save. John puts 50% of every dollar he earns into savings. If he wants to increase his personal expenditures by $45,000, he first has to earn an additional $90,000. Let's say you want to buy a car for $40,000. If you can't put an extra $40,000 into savings, you don't buy the car. Either buy a cheaper car, make do with what you have right now, or go out and make more money. The key is that you don't raise your lifestyle until you've earned the right to raise it by putting the same amount into savings. If you do raise your savings by $40,000, you know you've earned the right to raise your lifestyle by that same amount. The 50-50 law will get you rich very quickly. It was the core of billionaire Sir John Marks Templeton's strategy for building wealth. Do you want me to stop?
Yeah, Scarlett, you want to, thank you very much, Jody. Scarlett, you want to come out? Okay, I'll go ahead and go if you can't.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Don't tell me you can't do that. Most people wait to start saving until they have some extra money lying around, a comfortable surplus. But it doesn't work like that. You have to start saving and investing for the future now. And the more you invest, the sooner you will reach the financial independence. Sir John Marks Templeton started out working for $150 a week as a stockbroker. He and his wife Judy decided to invest 50% of their income in the stock market while they were making tithing a priority. That left them with only 40% of his income to live on. But today, John Templeton is a billionaire. He has kept the practice up his whole life and now gives away $10 for every dollar he spends to individuals and organizations that support spiritual growth. Who wants to be a millionaire? According to the government, oh, look at that, I can do it right here. Thank you. According to the government figures, in 1980 there were 1.5 millionaires in the United States by 2000, and there are 7 million. The number is expected to grow to approximately 50 million by the year 2020. It has been estimated that someone in America becomes a millionaire every 4 minutes. With a little planning, self-discipline, and effort, one of these millionaires can be you. Millionaire doesn't mean celebrity. Although you might think, judging from Donald Trump, Britney Spears, Oprah Winfrey, that most millionaires are celebrities, the truth is more than 99% of...
Oh, I think we lost you, Scarlett. I'll pick up until she comes back. Jody, can you hear me? When do you guys hear me? I just want to make sure it's not me. I mean, it's Scarlett and not me.
We can hear you, Rachel.
Okay. Millionaires don't mean celebrity. Although you might think, judging from Donald Trump, Britney Spears, and Oprah Winfrey, that most millionaires are celebrities, the truth is more than 99% of millionaires are hardworking, methodical savers and investors. These folks typically make their fortune in one of 3 ways. From entrepreneurship, which accounts for 75% of all the millionaires in the United States. As an executive at a major corporation, about 10% of millionaires, or as a professional practitioner, doctor, lawyer, dentist, certified public accountant, architect. Additionally, about 5% become millionaires through sales and sales consulting. Indeed, most of U.S. millionaires are regular folks who work hard, live within their budget, save 10% to 20% of their income, and invested it back into their business, real estate, and stock market. They are the people who own the dry cleaner businesses, the car dealerships, the restaurant chains, the bread companies, the jewelry store, the cattle ranch, the trucking companies, and the plumbing supply stores. However, people from any walk of life can become a millionaire if they learn the discipline of saving and investing to start early, if they start early enough. You no doubt read or heard about Osceola McCarty of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, who had to drop out of school in the 6th grade to take care of her family and spent some 75 years of her life washing and ironing other people's clothes. She lived a frugal life and saved what she could from the little money she made. In 1995, she donated $150,000, the bulk of her $250,000 life savings, to the University of Southern Mississippi to provide scholarships for needy students. And here's the interesting part. Had also invested her savings, which is estimated to have been about $50,000 in 1965, in an S&P 500 index fund, which earns on average 10.5 a year, her money would have grown to not $250,000, but $999,628. Virtually $1 million, 4 times as much. How to become an automatic millionaire? The simplest way to implement the pay yourself first is to have a plan that is totally automatic. That is, set up so a percentage of your paycheck is automatically deducted and invested as you direct. Financial planners will tell you from their extensive experience with hundreds of clients that very few, if any, follow through with the plan to pay themselves first. It is not automatic. If you're an employee, check with your company to see if they have a self-directed retirement company such as a 401k plan. You can arrange for the company to automatically deduct your contributions to the plan from your paycheck. If it's deducted before you receive your check, you will never miss it. More important, you won't have to think about your investments. You won't have to exercise self-discipline. It doesn't depend on your mood swing, household emergencies, or anything else. You make the commitment once and it's a done deal. Another advantage of this kind of plan is that they are free of small taxes until you withdraw the money. So instead of having 70 cents working for you, you have an entire dollar working for you, compounding year after year. Some companies will even match a portion of your contribution if you work for such a company. Get on board now. Check with the employee benefit office of your company and find out how to sign up. When you do, make sure to make the largest percentage contribution you are allowed by law, but at least 10%. If you absolutely cannot bring yourself to do 10%, then do the largest percentage that you can. After a few months, reassess and then see if you can't increase it. Get creative where you can cut costs and how you can increase your income through some other sources. If you don't have a company retirement plan, you can open an individual retirement account, an IRA, at a bank or a brokerage firm. With an IRA, you make a financial contribution of up to $3,000 a year, $3,500 if you're 50 years or older. Ask the bank, the brokerage firm, or a financial advisor to help you decide if you want a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. The paperwork to start an IRA takes about the same amount of time as opening a checking account. And to keep it automatic, you can arrange for an automatic deduction from your checking account. For a much more detailed explanation on how to benefit from an automatic investment program, I strongly recommend that you read The Automatic Millionaire, a powerful one-step plan to live and finish rich by David Bosch, New York Broadway book, 2004. David has done a superb job of providing you with everything you need to know, as well as a host of resources for putting those recommendations in action, even including phone numbers and websites. You can do all of this from the comfort of your home. Anybody else want to pick up and read? Scarlett, did you ever come back? Okay. Diane, you want to pick up?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can pick up. Where are we? Building assets?
Yes.
Testing.
Build assets rather than liabilities. Rule 1. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. Poor and middle class acquire liabilities, but they think they are assets. An asset is something that puts money in my pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of my pocket. Robert Kiyosaki. Far too many people run their financial lives by their expenditures and whims. For most people, their investment model looks like this: your income, your expense and liabilities, your assets, zero. But take a look at how wealthy people approach their investments. They take the money they earn and invest a large portion of it in an income-producing assets: real estate, small businesses, stocks, bonds, gold, and so on. If you want to become wealthy, follow their lead. Start approaching your financial activities like this. So it's your income in a box. 20% goes to your assets and multiple streams of income, and 80% goes to your expenses and liabilities. And then on top, 100% from your assets. Build your assets and multiply streams of income. And then there's an arrow right back to your income that says eventually you can live off the income from your assets and your multiple streams of income. That's true financial freedom. Once your nest egg starts to grow, as your money begins to grow, you'll want to educate yourself further about the best way to invest your money. Eventually, you'll probably want to find a good financial advisor. The way I found mine was to ask successful friends who they used, then listen for the same name to come up more than once or twice. That's exactly what happened. If you don't have friends who are using a financial advisor, or you don't get anyone that several people agree on, a good place to go for more information is on how to pick a financial advisor is www.finishrich.com. Click on the Find a Financial Advisor button under the Resources section on the website. There is a wealth of information there that can help you.
Thank you, anybody else want to pick up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Scarlett, we can hear you.
Okay, so protect what is yours with insurance. Perfect. It's sad. It's a sad reality today that many wealthy people are targets of frivolous lawsuits, claims, and other complaints, often for no legitimate reason. Additionally, mistakes and accidents can always occur, which is why it's important to protect your financial assets through a good insurance policy. This is even more important if you operate a small business. Locate a good insurance broker the same way you would a financial planner or asset management company. Protect what's yours with a prenuptial or cohabitation agreement. If you're getting married later in life or bringing lots of assets to a marriage, most financial advisors will tell you to get a prenuptial agreement. I know that may feel like you're introducing a negative matter to an experience that should be one of love and bliss, but these days such arrangements have become almost a necessity. I have watched too many people, both men and women, lose what rightfully should have been theirs because they were afraid to get a prenuptial agreement. When I got married, my wife-to-be was more than willing to get a prenuptial agreement. I don't ever want to take away from you what you rightfully owned when we came together. You've worked hard for what you have, and I want you to feel safe knowing if we don't make it. It's exactly that attitude that lets me know we can make it because she loves me and not my money. I admire that she is a level-headed, rational person who is not out to take advantage of me or my company. If you can't talk openly about a prenuptial agreement, you probably aren't going to be able to talk openly about the difficult emotional issues when they come up. That doesn't bode well for the quality and longevity of a relationship. Find a good marriage counselor and a couple of good lawyers, and a prenuptial agreements have stood up in court and work out an agreement you both feel good about. It can be very clarifying personal growth experience for both of you. Do you want to keep it up? We're done.
Thank you very much, Scarlett, for the reading, finishing that up. We definitely have some great information to dig in here and share. We don't have much time to share, but we're going to do the best that we can. some of the things that really stood out to me during our reading today was, when he talked about early on the importance of saving early on in life. And I talked to my son, who's 19 right now, and I always tell him, son, I wish that I would have had someone reminding me of this often, to start putting money up now. When I was 18, I read compound interest. I was like a fanatic about reading all these books. Unfortunately, I was not a fanatic at taking the action. And the action is what we need. If we just read this information and we don't do anything with it, we're not doing ourselves any justice. So if you are a young person listening to this, we really, really encourage you to take the action. Start putting 10% of your income up right now. Put that up. Pay yourself before you pay anyone else, any bills or anything. Pay yourself first. And if you constantly do that, we had the example of the woman who didn't save, she saved for like 10 years, and the other guy who came and saved until he was 65 years old. And as a result, she had more money coming in because she did it early on, and that money grew because of it taking place early on. So it's really, really important that you do that ASAP. That's one of the nuggets I took away. Ladies, do you want to share any nuggets that you took away from today's mastermind session?
I love the one about putting the money away, when you're young. That's something that we all, I think on this, I could be wrong, but have children that are young adults and young children. And I want to send this to my daughter to watch, or three of our daughters, and my son. If they could just start putting away something now in their 20s, how much difference it's going to be than, for what basically if we started right now. I mean, that was amazing, wasn't it? That was, one lady was like 900,000, or the other one was 200,000, something like that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that really, really was awesome to see the difference when you start out early. Thank you very much, Scarlett, for sharing. Anyone else want to share their input?
I think where he pointed out too that when you're with a company, that if you could have them automatically take those payments out. My husband has been working in a pulp mill here in where we live now, almost coming up to 3 years, I guess. And that's what they do. They actually take right off the top, I think it's 20% goes into savings and retirement plan. So we're lucky enough that we've already got that in place, and then it just makes it a lot easier knowing, hey, this has been set aside for retirement. And then if we want to set aside anything else, in the last couple of months we've been working on debt-free, which I know Diane has been doing that too. Mm-hmm. And I'm really, really happy to say that we had a few years ago when we didn't have much. My husband lost his job of 19 years here in BC because of a little bug called the beetle here in BC, which took out a lot of our major logging industry, and my husband was in that. So a couple of years ago, we actually had to use our RSPs and stuff to live, as there was just no work to be found for almost, I think it was about 18 months. And so he went through EI, and then we had to go into our savings to live, right? Mm-hmm. And when we did that, that made a lot of tax. So we had to pay that tax back, and the government decided just to take it automatically out of our account. So I'm really happy that on this next check that my husband has, we are going to be debt-free on that tax that had to be done. So, and it was I think it was $12,000 that we owed. So we've done that in less than 5 months. So I love his being that when you say you can't do it, yeah, you really can. It might have been a little bit tighter around here around the house and stuff for what extra money we have, and I kind of look at it this way. That was something that was taken off again as an extra, plus my husband has his retirement plan, so it's going to make it so much easier being on the road of being debt-free just by using those principles, and get rid of your debt and save.
Absolutely, Jody. I agree with you 100%. Debt-free is so crucial to the process, and I'm actually doing the same thing. I've shared about paying off my van, and that's the goal for me. I mean, I don't want any debt And the thing about it is, most people, what they do is once they pay something like that off, they think that that's the money to go blow and go spend,
Yeah.
or to go buy another car. No, it's not. The millionaires don't do that anyway. They pay cash for their car. But in my particular situation, I was getting really sick from the old car that I had, and every old car that I drove, it's like something with the combustion that comes out of the cars, so I couldn't breathe. So I literally was pushed into buying a new car, but this new car does not do that. So it's not new anymore, but I don't plan on going to buy a new car. My husband talks about it. I'm like, nope, that's not in the plan. You know how guys are. Guys like the new car thing. But for me, it's all about being free. And,
well, up here in Canada, it's trucks.
Oh, okay. See, the truck. That's what he wants. Yeah, a Jeep or something like that, right? But ultimately, the goal is to be financially debt-free. Yeah. And what I plan to do is taking that money, reinvesting it back into my business.
Yes.
So that I can create more business. And that's exactly what Jack talks about. And it's exactly what every millionaire does. And one of the things that, I loved when we first started reading, the quote that said, it says, you have a divine right to abundance. And if you are anything less than a millionaire, you haven't had your fair share. So it's not like you really even have to go out and work an extra job. I mean, it's wise to start a business because you're going to have more write-offs. You're going to have more advantages of having a home business. But even if you don't, if you can take the money that you're earning and proportion it properly, then you're going to be okay. And something that I need to add to this is to let you know that we are not financial advisors. We're not giving you advice. We're just telling you things that have worked for us. If you're looking for financial advice, we definitely recommend that you go and talk to an accountant or a financial advisor to help you with these matters in more details. This is a general conversation of what has worked for us and some of the things that we've learned. So we're sharing what we've learned. Okay, just to clarify that. And then one other thing that really jumped out to me was the fact that he talked about becoming an automatic millionaire. And I think somebody mentioned this already, but just having that money automatically taken out of your check so that you're not held liable. Last but least, and I just want to bring this out, and I'll allow anyone else that wants to come out and share anything, was the portion on the prenuptial agreement. And this is really funny. When I read this, because I was one of those people like, they don't really, that's kind of cruel. They just want you to ask for prenup. But after I read this and it came from this perspective, my whole view on a prenup is so different because truly you don't know anyone's alternative motive. I mean, it might look like love. It makes some of the people that look like they're so in love and all of a sudden they're divorced. So. I don't know. I think after reading this, my view on prenups have truly changed because it happens in every aspect. So once you become a millionaire, you're going to have to watch the way that because you even want to have like a trust where your money is hidden in a trust. And again, look with a financial advisor for more information about that. But when your money is just out there and everyone knows what you have, you become more of a target to be sued. So when you have it a trust, that's money. Your money is hidden where nobody knows exactly what you have, and so you're not an easy target to be sued. Anyone else want to share?
Yes, I do, Rachel.
Okay.
I love the part about how he talks about having assets instead of liabilities. It's very important to know that we need assets because assets pay you in your pocket and liabilities want money from you. So a lot of people get that very mixed up. And the reason that I'm bringing that up is because in 2008, we lost our house. It was bank repossessed, and that's the biggest loss we've ever had because it is so hard for us to pay rent and know that we're not getting equity on the house where we live now. So that's why our goal is to buy our house again. And for everybody out there that's listening today, you have to start somewhere. We were kind of forced to take, not forced, but because we were in the program, we had to go to these classes where they were teaching you from scratch of how to do it. And we started with the jar and the envelope system. And that has taught us an amazing journey of where your money goes, where you have to put it, where your saving is going, and what's priority. And it's amazing how if you keep track and you pay attention of how little you actually need to live on and how you can focus on paying off stuff that you need to pay off. So that's just something that I wanted to throw out there. And yes, Rachel, I totally agree with you about the prenatural thing. I didn't really, before that, you're kind of reading stuff and you're like thinking kind of critical in your mind and you're like, really? People do that? But you know, it's just to protect yourself, and the more you educate yourself about everything, the more you'll know, because most of us have kids, so we have to be careful of where our money's going for their future as well.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of that, Diane, comes from, you know, when you become a person of faith, you know, you kind of, your views are, but you know, I mean, God wants us to have wisdom too, you know. He said, so wisdom. Scarlett tried to say something over that one. I think she can't get it out, but you know, He wants us to have wisdom as well. So I just want to say, ladies, thank you very much. Thank you for all of you who came out today to hang out with us. We are excited about having you. If you would like to become a part of our group and connect with us, find us on Facebook. We have a group, Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. Connect with us there. Also, if you are looking for a home business, you're looking for a way to earn some extra money online at home, connect with one of these ladies with you. They'd be glad to give you more information about it. It's a $20 decision, and a $20 decision has changed our lives to the point where we are having success online. And if you want to know more about that business, get with us. We do have a hangout tonight. We have many testimonies that are going to be going forth, that people are going to be sharing their story of how this business has changed their life. So get back with us, send us a message, and we will be glad to get you more information. If not, we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, here at the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. Have a great day.